Beautiful people, and welcome. In this video, we are talking about solving system of equations by graphing. Now, there are three ways to solve system of equations: graphing, elimination, and by substitution. In this video, we will only be covering graphing. Now, for all systems of equations, like what is a system of equations? A system of equations is two equations that you're going to be solving a solution for both. One solution works for both equations. Now, there are three types of answers, possible answers. Let's go ahead and write them out. So there are three possible answers. The first possible answer we can get is one solution. Now, when you get this answer of one solution, you're not actually writing one solution, like you're not actually writing one solution as your answer. You're only having one solution, and that solution is where the two lines cross. The question we're asking ourselves when we're solving by graphing is how many times do the lines touch? So let's actually put that in a thinking bubble. Put that up here, I have some space. The question we're going to be asking is how many times do the lines cross? Or touch. We move that out so you can see that. So we're asking ourselves how many times do the lines cross or touch? If they are crossing one time, we're going to have the answer of where the two lines actually cross. So where exactly do they cross? So your answer is the point of intersection So it's the point of intersection. And your answer is going to look like x comma y. You're going to have a number for x and you're going to have a number for y. And that's going to be your answer. Let's do an example. So let's say we have a line here, and we have a secondary line here. And so how many times do these cross? How many times do these lines intersect? So these lines touch one time. They touch one time right here. Now, because they touch only one time there, that means we have one solution. And what is that solution? Well, that solution is the actual point here. We're going to name where they intersect. So where do they intersect? They intersect at 3, 4. So that would be your answer would be 3, 4 for something that has one solution. Now, that is only one of the three possibilities that you can have as an answer for your system of equations. Now, the second one that you can have is you can have no solution. Now, the no solution one is when you get this, the answer is no solution. You will actually write no solution as part of your answer. So how does that look like? What does that mean? That means the lines do not touch at all. And what's even more cool about the no solution is that means the lines are parallel. And so what does that look like? Let's go ahead and do a quick sketch. So parallel lines would have the same slope but different y-intercepts. So you would have maybe something like this. You would have two lines that don't ever touch. Now, sometimes this can get a little bit tricky because sometimes the lines, if you extend them, can touch. But if they are parallel lines, that means they will never, ever, ever touch. No matter how zoomed in or out we can make it, these two lines will never touch. So 2 things you need to know about no solution is that you need to write no solution as your answer. So your answer is no solution. And I want you to know that means that the lines are parallel. And I also want you to know that that means the slope is the same. And that your y-intercept are different. Here's an example. And I want to show you an example of 2 equations where the slopes are the same and the lines are different. So let's do this. Y equals 3/4 x. Let's do plus 3. And then let's do another one of y equals 3/4 x minus 4. So that means the slope would be the same and the y-intercept would be different. And that's when you would have the answer of no solution. All right, one more option for our answers, and that would be infinitely many solutions or all of the solutions. Infinite number of solutions. Now, when you have infinite number of solutions as your answer, that is the answer. You would copy and paste this as your solution. Now, what does that mean? That means when you have an infinite number of solutions, you have the same line twice. Or what that would mean is you have the same line twice. What's another way of saying you have the lines on top of each other? So basically what we're saying is you have the slope is the same. And your y-intercepts are the same. So again, how would that look like? Let's do an example. So let's do one. I'll do 2 different colors. So let's say our first line was this line right here. Let's mark that up in yellow. Oh, let's choose a different color since I'm using yellow for something else. Let's use green. So here's our first line. And let's say we have exactly the same other line, and I'll mark it up in orange here. So again, the question is how many times do the lines touch or cross? The lines touch or cross that many times. They're the same lines, so they touch infinite amount. So if we were to write an equation for them, let's say if we were given an equation, the equations would be the same. Because the slope and the y-intercepts are the same, the slope and the y-intercept have to be the same in both equations. They are the same. So again, what would you write for an answer like this? You would write infinite number of solutions or infinitely many solutions. Usually I like to abbreviate this because I feel like that's too many words. All right, let's do 2 examples and then wrap up this video. If you struggle with graphing, I'll show you a way in our second example of how to graph. You're struggling with graphing. All right, let's go ahead and graph the first one. This one here, you take the number that's in front. Since we only have a negative in front, that means I have a 1 over 1 as my slope. This is in slope-intercept form. Now, where does the 1 go? It's your decision where the 1 goes. You can either put it on top or the bottom. So since we do rise over run, you can put the negative in the denominator. That's fine. I usually like to put the negative on top so I don't forget about it. This here with the symbol is your y-intercept. And y-intercept is always 0, comma, that number with the symbol. So in this case, 0, comma, positive 4. So I'm going to graph that. So I'm going to first start with so step 1. And then step 2 is my slope. I'm going to use the slope to find my second point. You only need 2 points. If you want more, that's fine. So I'm going to start with 0, comma 4. So here's 0, comma 4. I'm going to put a point there. Then I'm going to go down 1 because this is negative, and I'm going to go to the right 1 because it's positive. So I'm going to go down 1 over 1. And if you want to continue creating points, that's fine. You technically only need 2 points to form a line. Now take a straight edge. It doesn't matter if it's a ruler, piece of paper, anything. And then draw your line in. Your line should be extended all the way. Don't give me a little tiny line. So that's your first equation, first line. Let's do the same thing for the second one. This one here, it's a little bit difficult to see, but that does say 5/8. So that's an 8 on the bottom. So that's going to be your slope. Notice that 5/8 are both positive. So that means I'm going to go up 5, right 8. And what is my y-intercept? My y-intercept is 0, comma, take it with the symbol, -4. So I'm going to start with 0, comma, -4 first, which is here. And now I'm going to go up 5 over 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here are my 2 points. Here's one here, one here. I'm actually going to use a highlighter, or let's not use a highlighter. Yes, let's use a blue highlighter. You want to make sure that you're able to see the difference of the 2 lines. This is why it's important to use a straight edge, because you're looking for that point of intersection, and it's difficult to see the point of intersection if your lines aren't perfect. There it is. Now I should extend my line a little bit more. Notice how this line cut off a little bit, so let me do that. Okay, just like that. You want to extend it. Now again, our question is, how many times do the lines cross? Do they cross 1 time, 2 times? Do they cross all the time? Do they cross no times? In this case, they cross only once, and I can see that their point of intersection is going to be here. So my answer is one solution. One solution, what is that solution? That solution needs to have an x and a y. So the x is 5, the y is -1, and that's my answer. So where do the lines intersect? They intersect at 5, 1. All right, let's go ahead and do a secondary example. Here's my second example, but this example, I'm actually going to go ahead and see if this is going to work. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to go and show you. Let's see. There it is. Let me change that out. And we're going to go to Desmos. Now, if you don't know what Desmos is a graphing tool online that you can just Google, and it will bring you up to here. So for here, our second example, I'm going to type in my 2 equations. So I have y equals, and I'm just typing this in. I have 3/4. I'm typing in next is x, and then I'm doing a plus 1. Here's my 1 equation, and Desmos graphs that for you. Here's my second equation, and I'm actually going to show you how to use the keypad now. So if you are not sure how to do that, so I'm going to type in my next equation of negative. So where's negative? You can do a minus for negative on this one, I believe. It may or may not work. Oh, you know what, you guys, I forgot my y equals. So here's y equals a negative, what am I having? A -1/2. So I need a fraction. So again, it's going to be a forward slash, or you can do division sign. So I can do 1 divided by 2. There it is. And then I need to press my icon here, so that way I can put my x. Where's my x? Here it is. And I have -4. And your second equation has been graphed for you. I'm going to get rid of this toolbar. Here it is, and they graphed it for you so we know this also has one solution, and it's really cool because you can hover over the intersection and it tells you the answer. For the second example of these two equations, our one solution is -4, 2. So Desmos is really cool if you're struggling to graph. For system of equations, we are using prior knowledge of graphing, so if you struggle with that, use Desmos as a tool to help you. You still need to know how to graph, but if you're really in a pinch, you can definitely use Desmos. All right, beautiful people, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.